Hello and good evening to you all. How are you all doing? It's Little Blue here. Thank you so much for coming back to my podcast. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody that has been really supportive on social media and been supportive of my podcast. I'm so grateful. I've really enjoyed doing it, and if I am touching the lives of anybody, even if it's just one of you listening in and I'm making you think a little bit more about being kind and being positive and motivating yourself, then that is the reason I'm doing it. I don't actually look at the likes or the views or how many people I've got subscribing. I could have 0 for all I know, but I'm enjoying doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. So if you do like it, let me know, give me some feedback, let me know what you want to hear about, if you want me to have chats with other people, or if you're just liking having a little sort of Sunday evening natter with Little Blue. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I really super appreciate it. What I wanted to talk about today was the wonderful thing that happened at the weekend. It is something I have looked forward to for quite some time now. And if you've listened to one of my previous podcasts, you will know just how excited I am and how much of a fan I am. And I am, of course, talking about Strictly Come Dancing 2019, the live shows. Oh, so good. Did you see it? And who was your favourite? Let me know who your favourites were, because they were just all so good, and so many of them just blew me away. I just wasn't expecting them to be as good as they were already. It's going to be such an exciting year. It really is. We've really stepped it up a notch. Sorry, I've just got a message come through on my phone, and I think my friend is watching Strictly as I'm talking about it. She's just said, week 1, who was your favourite? I was just about to say that, Emma, so thanks. Hello, Emma, if you're listening. My favourites going into week 1 were Kelvin, Will, and Dev. They were my 3 favourites just from watching Instagram and interviews and things like that. And not one of them disappointed me. Kelvin, holy cow. Oh my goodness. If you fancy men, you could not have not wanted to marry him on the spot during that dance. It was incredible. His hips, it was just so fluid, and it wasn't over the top, and it wasn't too lit. Oh, it was just perfect. And him and Oti just really complemented each other. They are a great partnership. Oti is a fantastic dancer. I love watching Oti dance, but together they just clicked, and it's going to be a great year for them. I really have a good feeling about them. And it's funny because when he replaced Jamie Lang, I can remember seeing it on the TV and saying to my mum, wouldn't it be funny if Kelvin won, because he's sort of come up as the underdog, the reserve, and if he then goes on to win it, it'd just be incredible. I love those sort of like success stories. It'll be a really lovely little tale. But yeah, so Kelvin and Oti, amazing. Will and Jeanette, oh, they are probably my favourite couple to watch on Instagram right now. I think they are my favourite Instagram pages at this present time. They're just so cute. There was a video the other day of Will doing an impression of a meerkat, and it was just so perfect, and it was just so lovely and sweet. I love him. I absolutely love him. He just oozes positivity and charm and kindness and everything I'm about, and he's just so cute and lovely. I find him inspirational, but in not probably in the same way that you would think I do, because of course it is inspiring that he has a disability and he just doesn't let it affect him. I have always said you only have a disability if you let yourself have one. Obviously, you will have limitations and there will be things you can't do, but keep pushing yourself, keep trying, because you never know what is possible. And he is sort of the living embodiment of that. But the thing that inspires me most about him is this wonderful, positive mental attitude he has to just enjoy life and love what he's doing. And you can just see it in his eyes and his face. And I love him. I think he's incredible. And Jeanette, she's also a very fun-loving person, and they're just so wonderful together. They really are. And the dance, oh my goodness, it was brilliant. It was just, I had goosebumps. Like literally, I think if I was there watching it, I would have given them a standing ovation. It was phenomenal. I loved it. I loved it so much. And when he did that slide and then he kissed the camera at the end, Baby Blue was in stitches. She loved that. So I think they're going to be one of our favourites throughout the whole thing, because I just love them as people, as dancers. Just, yeah, good on you. Team Pocket Racket. Definitely, they're one for me. My other favourite was Devon Diane. Obviously, I love Joe and Zoe and Alfie and Diane's vlogs, so gonna be a little bit biased with that because I'm already a fan. But I was truly hoping Dev was going to be good, because I think in my heart I was expecting him to be a bit more of a Scott Mills. He really wasn't, was he? It was so elegant. What a wonderful foxtrot. And to one of my favourite songs as well, Build Me a Buttercup. We were dancing along with them. It was just phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. The costumes as well. Diane's dress was just beautiful. I think I'd wear that at a wedding. Obviously, it wouldn't fit me because Diane's like a teeny tiny, but make it a bit bigger and I'd wear that at a wedding. It was gorgeous. And just incredible. I'm so pleased for them. But everyone did well. I've forgotten his name, Mike. I was like, he came out, did those kicks and flicks, and I literally stood up in my seat and I was like, oh my goodness, he's nailed it. And I was really expecting him to be another Ed Balls, because he kept saying, oh, I'm the same age as him and I've got catchier, and he's brilliant. He's a dark horse, that one, and I think he's going to do well. I think if she can rein him in a bit for the more serious, like the foxtrots and the quick steps, and not quick step, the foxtrots and the waltzes and things, I think he's going to do, yeah, he'll do really well. I really don't know who's going to go though, because there are certain people that were less, not good, but they were less advanced than the others. However, they are such lovely people. They've got the nation's heart. And I wonder if they will stay in because of that. It often happens, doesn't it? However, Anton de Beek, you're not going to be at risk at going on week 1, I don't think, this year. Because Emma was lovely. She was great. And I love the fact they did it to Honey Honey from ABBA. I've been singing it all weekend. Because obviously that's her character name in EastEnders. So it was just a lovely little routine, and it was lovely to see Anton actually moving. I didn't know he could move so fast. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. And I screamed when I noticed that Anton wasn't in the bottom sort of section. They always do it in 2 sections, don't they? The leaderboard at the end. And he was in the top bit, and he wasn't on the bottom of the top bit either. He was sort of in the middle, and it was lovely. So yeah, my mum was happy, because all the mums love Anton, don't they? All your mums love Anton. If your mum doesn't love Anton, your auntie will. I bet you. My mum and auntie love Anton. So, yeah, I'm really pleased. It's going to be such an interesting year. And I really can't wait. And I'm so pleased for Johannes. I'm so pleased. Oh my God, Neil Jones's dance. His choreography is incredible. We're going to see some great stuff from Neil. I'm really pleased for him. I did feel that Johannes may have been a little bit nervous. I don't know why. Or it was because his partner was a bit more nervous, but I felt it was a little bit more. It didn't feel as confident from his point of view. However, Aliash, oh my God, he went for it. And I think he went for a little bit too much, because then you could see the comparison between their skill sets, and I think he needed to tone it down a bit to make her look a little bit better. But I love Aliash. He's always smiling as well, isn't he? And if you watch It Takes Two with Aliash, he always reads the little captions they do and like comments on it. I love him. He's such a hoot in interviews. And him and Jeanette are the cutest couple. I really love them as a couple. Just, yeah. I follow them on Instagram too. I've been following them all summer, and they went to a christening. I think it was Aliash's nephew or niece, because they were godparents. And, oh, just gorgeous. They're so lovely. So lovely. But yes, I really just loved Strictly. I love everything about it. The costume, everything. And Motsi Mabuse, I didn't know what to expect because her opening dance at the launch show was quite fierce, and I thought she was going to be really strict and quite harsh with people. But she's really not. She's so lovely and kind, and nothing against the other judges, but I think she's my favourite judge. The way she speaks and the way she expresses herself through her vocabulary, it was just so beautiful. It was almost poetic at times. And for me, her descriptions just hit the nail on the head every time. It was one of those things where you couldn't quite work out why it was looking like it was looking. And she'd just get it and you'd be like, oh, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what he's doing or she's doing. And I just love the way she was giving criticism, but she was giving it like it was a tip, an advice, something that they could then use, positive criticism sort of thing. And then people will go away and then their feelings aren't hurt then. They don't feel like all that hard work they put in for those 2 weeks was just not worth it. They feel like, I've done a great job and this is how I can make it better next week, rather than, oh, she didn't like it, I've got to do better next week because I've disappointed them, which is what Craig does. But even Craig this year, he's not as harsh, I don't think. But then it was only week 1. And I did feel he was wording himself much nicer. However, Bruno, I've always loved Bruno. I love his flamboyance and I love all that, this theatrical way he conducts himself. But last year, I started to not like him as much. And it's trailed over into this year because his scoring is a little bit iffy. he gave Neil Jones's dance that opened it a 5, and then he gave somebody else later on who really wasn't as good as that dance a 5. And I was thinking, hang on, their dance was much better, and you've given them the same score. And he did that a lot last year as well. So I think he needs to sort of think about, okay, well, I've marked Neil with this, so I should give them maybe a 4, give them a little bit less, or maybe I should have given Neil a little bit more. And but I don't think they care, to be honest. They're just there to give their opinion, really, aren't they? So I don't know. I feel Bruno can be quite unkind at times too, and obviously being somebody that promotes kindness and positivity, it bugs me a bit because I don't ever think there is a need to be rude or unkind about something. I think even if you are angry, or even if you don't agree with something, or something just didn't appeal to you, I don't see the benefits in voicing that. I think sometimes the best thing you can do is just not to say anything. It's like I was saying the other day in my podcast about social media. If you see a post, you don't like it, you don't agree with it, just don't say anything, just keep scrolling. Don't give it any airtime. And yeah, it's the same in life. If somebody says something that upsets you, just sort of acknowledge, okay, I heard you, and just move on. Just don't interact. And yeah, some of the things Bruno comes out with just very unkind and stuff. But my roundup of the night was that it was incredible. I loved everything about it. I'm very excited to see what everyone's going to do next week. And yeah, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so interesting. And I'm going to be picking up the phone and voting. I've definitely got my 3 favourites, and it's going to be a year for the boys, I think, because Joe Sugg was the last man standing last year. All the boys went out straight away last year, so I don't think that's going to be the case this year because they're all fantastic. Anyway, that's the end of my podcast. I will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves, and I'm going to steal it. Keep dancing.